All right, everybody, welcome to a very, very special and last second episode of Overdunk. We're getting more than one episode a week. That's crazy what's going on. It's emergency Overdunk time. I've already been theorizing the YouTube title I'm giving this episode. Current working one
Ooh.
is The Game Has Changed Forever. We'll see. It's
Honestly,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Before we even get into that stuff, Bridget, can you please tell me how great you think our YouTube thumbnail was for our last episode? Because I
it,
was cackling when making that YouTube thumbnail.
I was giggling quite a bit as well. Honestly, I think that's one of the best bits we've ever done.
Yeah.
Was drafting the fits.
Yeah,
So
genuinely. Genuine. And for some reason, and I totally forgot to change it because I just went live because this is an emergency episode. I think we're still streaming at Twitch in 360 pixel,
yes,
which
sir, baby.
so I'm so sorry for everybody. I promise I will change it. I don't think I can change that live. So we're gonna run this thing. There
No.
won't be too many things that'll require it to be in high def. Last one there was, but this one there isn't. I haven't even done the intro yet. Welcome back to Overdunk, everybody, your favorite competitive Pokemon Unite podcast. My name is Zoinks, joined as always by Bridget. And like we said, this is an emergency episode. We're coming at you with a lot of energy and excitement because do you ever get this excited about a letter from anybody? I don't, because it's the producer letter for Pokemon Unite for the 4th anniversary, and holy moly, the amount of things to come. It seems insane. I'm so excited. I'm just unreal amounts of excited. Bridget, in any way, did you expect this amount of news from the 4th anniversary for the game?
No, not
Okay.
at all. I really thought like we were gonna get it in the patch notes that we got yesterday.
Right, if
I was
anything.
like,
Yeah.
oh, we're getting Charizard, we're getting Gyarados, we're getting
Right.
Latios and Latios,
Yeah.
for sure, man. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that was it.
Well, they fixed Crussel's bugged wall for
Yeah,
for
I
4th anniversary. It's crazy.
I knew we're not gonna talk about the patch today, but I just kind of was like, oh, okay. This seems like a
Exactly.
good world's patch, for sure.
Yeah. Also, what my vibes were a bit of a letdown, but hey, we've kind of turned things around, at least with promises. So I'm excited about that. For anybody who doesn't know somehow, why we're even live in the first place, we did get a letter from the producer on the community.pokemon forums, which is where they always show up, with a lot of crazy news about the game. If you're seeing this in a visual format, you've already seen on title, spoiling a little bit in the current topic section. There are huge changes to the map coming. There are the promise of way more Pokemon coming out consistently in terms of new Unite licenses to play with, and the promise to add more Mega Evolution Pokemon to the game. That is crazy in its own right. I actually think saying that precedence and kind of collabing with another release in Legends of EA is also kind of unprecedented for Unite. We'll talk about that more later. But let's get into this letter, Bridget. Let's jump over to it. I think I got to.
It's mail day.
We've teased it enough. Let's jump into the letter from the producer. So, I'm gonna read the spiel they gave right at the start because it would be rude. It's like when you open a letter from your grandparents on a holiday and they've given you money and you're trying to not make eye contact with the $20 bill, but you have to read the nice sentiment they wrote. That's kind of what it's like here at the start. But hello, traders. Thank you for contributing to continuing to enjoy Pokemon Unite. I thought they were saying us for contributing to Pokemon Unite. It's okay.
We've done both.
We've done both. Yeah, honestly, thank you for that. We've been putting in the work. On July 21st, 2025 marks the 4th anniversary of Pokemon Unite's release. Happy anniversary, everybody. We are deeply grateful to all trainers across the globe who have loved and supported Pokemon Unite up till now. Thanks to all of you, the game has now been downloaded over 200 million times. Remember, they made a big deal about the 100 million times, but 200, we'll talk more at 5. Including the mainland Chinese version. Interesting, they're adding that metric in here, actually. Interesting. Which released in November last year. We hope you all continue to support Pokemon Unite for years to come. I am doing a salute into the camera, but currently that's not on screen. To celebrate, a variety of special 4th anniversary events will be held in Pokemon Unite. We've been preparing plenty of content for everyone to enjoy. Latios and Latios, which we already knew about, will be joining the fray, and Gyarados' Unite license will be available as a gift, and more. So very cool. Gyarados, the next Battle Pass Pokemon, will be free during the anniversaries. That's kind of sick too. We hope you enjoy the 4th anniversary events. We'd also like to introduce some of the updates we have planned. So a roadmap without dates is kind of what we're about to look at here. Yeah, cool. Awesome. We're celebrating 200 million downloads. Gyarados is going to be free, which I think is a pretty good promo. You know, make your Battle Pass Pokemon free. Honestly, kind of shocked Charizard won't be, but I guess they've given Charizard away a bunch of times, like, in the past. So, yeah, maybe not a huge surprise there. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe it's one of the ones you can get like right off the bat too.
It's like one of the 5
so-
starter Pokemon, right? That you get.
Yeah, so he's inherently like at a cheaper cost. But I love the idea of getting the Battle Pass bond for free. I mean,
Yeah.
it
smart.
obviously is a good incentive for them to sell the Battle Pass, but I feel like they should be giving us free mons more often, if I'm being honest. So
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, this is huge.
Mhm.
I'm excited about it. Actually, now that's like a whole discussion topic. Maybe for the off season, one of the top. Someone write that down. Of like, if we could decide on a new, like, I think it's 6 or 5 licenses you have at the start of the game to choose from. I think like Slowbro,
Oh.
Alolan Ninetales, and Venusaur you all get just by leveling. But then you get
Mhm.
like one option out of 6. Like it's like Eldegoss, Talonflame, Charizard, 2 Fireflyngs, cringe. Snorlax is in there too. I wonder if we could choose a new lineup of starter licenses. What would we choose?
Okay.
Yeah, that's for later though. For now, it's the anniversary
I'm
edition.
writing it down. I'm writing
Yeah.
it down.
Not right now. Okay. First and foremost, first piece of news, very exciting. Unite licenses for Mega Evolving Pokemon. Pokemon Legends ZA, a new frontier for the Pokemon series, interesting, is slated to release October 16th, 2025. Did we know that? By the way?
The release date for
Oh, we did know.
ZA,
Yeah, we
yes.
did. I thought somehow Unite
okay.
soft launched the release date of Legends ZA. That'd be crazy, but no. I think I'm thinking of Champions. We
I
don't know a release
wish.
date for Champions yet.
Yes.
In it, Mega Evolution will be key to battling. In Pokemon Unite, we implemented Unite licenses from Mewtwo that can Mega Evolve into Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y. Now, we're planning to add more Unite licenses for Mega Evolving Pokemon to celebrate the release of Pokemon Legends ZA. We hope you enjoy the new strategies and the fun that Mega Evolution brings to battles. More details will be announced at a later date. I'm losing my mind. Somewhere out there, I know Joe Brown's Zemanon from VGC is losing his mind. He's a big Mega fan. This is so exciting. It's a collab with another game, essentially. They're riding the boat of what, Pokemon is pushing as their big marketing currently with a game that's bringing back Mega Evolution. So is Unite. It's going to be bringing back an element that they've already introduced once earlier on, which is kind of cool. We don't really repeat gimmicks very often in Unite, so that's interesting that we're going back. But yeah, okay, Bridget, your thoughts on Mega Evolving Pokemon Unite licenses?
Well, I'm, I guess, a little scarred on the whole Mega Evolution of it all, a la
Sure.
Mewtwo. But on a lighter note, just the fact that this collaboration with the new game release
Mm-hmm.
is existing is kind of the coolest part to this
Okay.
to me
Yeah.
over the Mega Evolution of it all, which is sick. I'm just not. When Mega Evolutions were introduced to Pokemon, I was not in the Pokemon community at all whatsoever. I
Oh,
didn't
interesting.
understand Mega Evolutions at
Mhm.
all. I was like, why would I evolve it if it's just going to change back? It makes no sense. I
Not a Digimon fan.
don't.
Heard. Okay.
I just didn't see the point. I
Uh-huh.
didn't understand. So sorry. I was not made for Megas, but I know Megas are like very integral to the community. I mean, a lot of people's like favorite mons are Mega Evolution mons. I mean, the fact that they're coming to the main series in Legends ZA, it was like crazy as it is when they flashed that logo. Everyone freaked out. So the fact that they're kind of like co-promoting that and like giving Unite that kind of like, oh, there's gonna be Megas in Unite now. Like you had Mewtwo, like now look at the new shiny ones we're gonna add. Like I'm really gonna geek out if there's like a new Mega coming in ZA that is like added to Unite, like that close, because it took us a pretty long time to get Scarlet and Violet mons,
Yeah.
which fair enough, but I don't know. I'm gagged at
Uh-huh.
the collab. The
Me
remix is
too.
crazy.
I'm pretty excited for the collab. We've had, I know we said it's kind of unprecedented. There have been very small ones. Like I think around Scarlet and Violet release, you could get like the
Yes.
starter stickers, right, and like the background, and then same with Pocket, you could do like the like your player card background,
The
which
Pokemon
yeah, I mean,
card.
I don't know what more collab you could do in Pocket other than like you rip a pack and pick a Unite license from it or something. I think that could be the only um, the only other thing I can think of. But either way, having a collab is really, really exciting. I think the idea of having a currently unreleased Mega Evolution that would come out in Legends ZA, because I think everybody is expecting and anticipating Pokemon that have not been able to Mega Evolve previously will be able to in
Yeah.
Legends ZA. For
That's definitely the
sure, the
expectation.
starters, right? We got what are the 3 starters in Legends ZA again?
Oh yeah,
Chikorita,
Tepig,
Tepig,
Chikorita, and
Totodile.
Totodile. I wouldn't
All
say Oshawott, but
3.
I knew he was the other guy.
That's right. All 3 Pokemon that we don't have in the game right now, by the way,
Oh,
too, which is
dude.
interesting. So like what a way to debut a new Pokemon in the game. Like maybe it's a different for Alligator. It's like whatever, if it has a new form, maybe they don't have new forms in Legends EA. We don't know yet, but for sure we'll have a Mega. I would be shocked and astounded if the starters do not get a Mega Evolution. However, Kalos has done that before. So
Okay,
we'll
yeah,
see.
I think that is most people. I mean, given the Legends format
Yes.
of the starter treatment of it all, it definitely seems likely. Oh, if they gave us all 3 of those starters, oh my
Unreal.
gosh, I would kind of lose it. I would actually kind of lose it.
That would be crazy. So, okay, I think before we have more Mega discussion, Bridget, you and I need to talk about what do we think Mega licenses are going to look like. I think there's a couple of major options. So we were talking a little bit before we went live. I think one of the first major options is that Mega licenses are new licenses. Now, the reason I say that is because we have Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y in the game, who obviously can Mega Evolve, but they are their own unique license, and they are like the Mega Pokemon. So well, it's actually not entirely true, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, Uzi, DM me that on Discord because I don't have you set up to send links into the Twitch chat yet. So that I think is one option, and that's the likely option I think for me. The other option is they kind of go backwards a little bit and rework Pokemon to be able to Mega Evolve, which would be interesting. Like I do think there's kind of 2 paths you could go with that. The only problem I see with that second option, and not the only problem, there could be a few, is like the ability to Mega Evolve is so cool, and the way that you kind of gatekeep evolutions in Pokemon Unite through levels will mean you don't get to do it very quick. That's the craziest part about Mewtwo, is that you get to Mega Evolve at level 5. Like, you're already doing the thing. It's a core part of the license. So that's why I think it'll be the former. But how about you, Bridget? Which way are you leaning? Which direction do you think it'll go? I'm going to pull up Uzi Sweet while you say that.
Yeah, my only thought on if they did it where they somehow integrate the Mega Bar into the current licenses, which does seem like it would be more complicated to do than just creating a net new license, that functions as Mewtwo does basically with that template. But I was thinking about it because the Mewtwo's build their gauge off of their like auto attacks, and so I was like, what would it look like if you were like a non ADC type Pokemon? Like, how would you build your gauge up? Would it always just be based off your auto attacks? Like,
it's interesting.
Does that make sense for every kind of Pokemon? Will there be other ways to do it?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, will the effects be the same? I don't know. That's what I was kind of noodling on, thinking about.
That's a good point.
The gauge itself, but I guess that can be applicable to whether they add it to pre-existing kits or create brand new ones.
Yeah. Oh, it's so interesting. I mean, like, there's a bunch of questions I have about, like, the nitty-gritty, too. You know how in draft, if you ban either of the Mewtwo's, it counts as a ban for both? What about other split... I guess the only other split Mega I can think of is Charizard at the moment with Charizard X and Y. I could be wrong about that. There could be other licenses that could do the same thing. There's no Mega Scyther, right? It wouldn't matter. It's just the one license. So like, would it ban both of them in that case for Charizard? And who knows? If we go down the Pokken route, maybe we. Maybe
Oh
there's,
god.
maybe there's Shadow Mewtwo or someone. I don't know.
Yeah, we're getting
But-
Shadow Mewtwo. It's time.
Okay, I gotta pull something up on screen. One of our best friends in the community, Big Uzi, did send us a tweet made by El Chico Eevee very recently. And the tweet just says, "Just saying," and then has the screen cap of the solo battle challenge against Leon and his buddies, which I think was my favorite way that Lutano ever described how to play this mode. With, of course, Raihan, Karina, Cynthia, Leon, and Green. And then, of course, the second picture being Karina and Mega Lucario, who, in my opinion, is maybe the most likely to get the Mega license treatment. I think it's pretty likely. So
They want the Lucario meta back now.
yes,
They said we're
exactly.
getting them back in.
The gacha
just the way they
skin was not
came.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so all that being said, let's have a quick discussion before we move on from Megas, because who knows, we got a lot more to react to. What Pokemon do we think are the most likely of the roster to receive Mega Evolution licenses? I think Lucario is extremely high up there. The other ones I would love, but I don't think so, are going to be Latios and Latias. I think,
Ooh.
like, it would be crazy if they just Shadow Dropped and they can Mega. Like, once we unlock them, I would lose it, but there's no way. There's no way they don't have that option in the public test server to do that, right? Like, it's just not happening.
Yeah, we know too much. We know too much.
Yeah, but that would be so sick. Okay. Uzi dropping more fire in the chat, saying that it would be fire if the Megas also got the skins that the Pokemon have the Hollowware, like a Mega Lucario having the new skin it got too would be hype. That is true. However, again, I really think that Mega Lucario will be its own Pokemon. I think it will be a different license. And therefore, different Hollowware. It's my guess. Maybe,
Well,
I'm
do
sure
they
they'll do like
do-
discounts and stuff, but we'll see.
Don't they
Wait.
do the same ones for Mewtwo, or is it?
Do you have
Do they
to
only do that for the battle pass?
buy them separate? I
don't
forget.
Think so. I know they did it
The
with the
fighting
battle
style
pass.
one.
They like retroactively, I think, gave you the other one.
Yeah.
But
know.
I don't know. I don't play them, and I
Okay.
don't buy their skins, so
Well, it's a
we
good
don't
point.
know.
I want to say the fighting styles you got separately. Who knows? Someone will probably correct us in the comments. It's fine.
I trust you.
Danko asking, are the Mega licenses going to be different than the regular ones? We actually don't know. That's one thing that we're theory crafting on at the moment. But we'll see. We will see. You also could upgrade. You know how they have like move upgrades now in like the Lotto Gacha machine or whatever? Like you could like get the Hollowware upgrade for the Mega or something. I'm not too sure. Honestly, no idea. Okay, Bridget, any more thoughts on Megas before we...
So many thoughts.
Mhm.
I do feel like going back to your original question, I do feel like Charizard is a high contender for these Mega licenses of our current roster.
Yes.
And I am thinking with like the quantity of Unite license they've promised us, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these are like a Mega Lucario. You know what I mean? Like they're separate from the original license, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. I think I'm going to go the opposite direction for a second. I think here are some unlikely ones we don't get anytime soon. I think Mega Scizor almost never. I think he could really use it. I think it would be awesome. I don't think we get Mega Scizor for a while. In the same vein, not in the same vein, in an opposite direction, I actually think the Charizard ones will be waiting a minute. I think they're saving those for a big event. I think
5 year.
I think
the
Mega
5 year.
Charizard, Mega X and Mega Y. That's like a final shout out to
Final
Mega
boss.
Evolution. Like that's like I'm saying there is a Mewtwo glass box break. You know when you need money option in the Pokemon in every Pokemon game's office. There's also for Charizard, and I think they are waiting. They're waiting to drop those a little bit later. But We'll see. We'll see. Okay. I think that's kind of all we can say on the mega licenses for the moment. Unless like chat has any more questions or anything like that. But I think let's jump into the next thing. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. This actually might be the most exciting one. So let's jump into it. Groudon appears in Thea Sky Ruins. Okay, let me just read out the text here. The copy. Several adjustments are planned for Thea Sky Ruins in future updates. Awesome, several. The boss Pokemon Rayquaza, which currently appears after 8 minutes have passed, will be sorry, I don't know why I did it in that cadence, which currently appears after 8 minutes have passed, will be replaced with Groudon. When a team defeats Groudon, all members of that team will have their attack power and goal scoring speed greatly increased. But not only that, if you knock out a Pokemon that's under this effect, the Groudon buff, the effect will transfer to your Pokemon. That way, even the team that didn't defeat Groudon will have a chance to keep up, allowing all players to enjoy a heated battle until the time runs out. We will also be adjusting when and where wild Pokemon appear, as well as the placement of tall grass. So, like, mechanical map changes as well, and a brand new boss. These changes will make the top and bottom path roles clearer, while allowing all battle styles a chance to shine. We hope this makes battling easier while also improving strategy. That is a very interesting line. We'll continue to make adjustments to Thea Sky Ruins going forward, so we hope you look forward to it. I do, Pokemon Unite, thank you, but wow.
I am looking forward to it. Oh,
Holy cow.
Want to know what it means. I want to see the new... I mean,
show me it all.
Obviously it's still, show me it all. I know it's still Thea Sky Ruins, but to me this is like, we've gotten the taste of new map, guys. Like, I can feel it. Like, I want to see it.
This is crazy. Also, thank you so much for the raid, Steph. Welcome to the show for the emergency Overdunk. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I felt bad. Steph, right before we went live, Steph was doing a Donkey Kong stream. And I went in her chat and I was like, did you see the letter?
Can't even let a girl play Donkey Kong.
I know, no, not when Unite news is dropping. Also,
true.
With all this news, like Steph, you came in. We've already talked about the mega licenses and stuff like that. We're now moving on to the map changes. There is zero way that we're only like 30 seconds in the direct, right? We gotta have a little more shine.
I want a trailer. I want to see Groudon. I want to see the map. Okay, I want to see it.
Let's go chronological here in the way this text says it first. Okay, first off, the boss Pokemon Rayquaza being gone is kind of crazy because the map is very thematically built around Rayquaza. Like, that is a huge shock to me. Like, remember before in the map, like, you could, like, see the Rayquaza, like, flying around in the background? There's no way they get rid of that, right? Like, or do we see Groudon, like, stomping his way up some stairs? Like, how does he get there? I really hope that's how it happens.
That is so funny to think about.
Like, Rayquaza's flying around, he's just like, he couldn't build a freaking elevator in this stupid tower. And he's just moving his way up. Thea Ground Ruins is so funny, Ian.
Yeah, it drops down to the ground.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Rayquaza left. I know, I just want them to reskin all of, like, the grass into, like, lava and just make it, like, a little darker. It would be, like, pretty much the same energy.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be awesome. However, okay, this is cutting back to us talking on our last episode a little bit about how we were theory crafting some map changes because we saw Regirock and Registeel in the top path, which, all right, but it was very Thea Sky Ruins-y still. Like, that was the vibe, that was the map look, so I don't think we're seeing any, like, total graphical overhauls, but definitely some big mechanical changes, obviously. Okay, let's talk about the buff, specifically. The team will have their attack power, damage, probably, maybe attack speed. That, like, it could. Power is a very blanket term. And goal scoring speed greatly increased. Great. That makes sense. That's very similar. However, the one thing that is not mentioned in this is a shield. And that's scoring speed, not uninterruptible while scoring, which is what we currently have, which is very, very different.
Yes.
Now, of course, this letter could just be trying to, like, define things loosely. There still could be a shield. You could still be uninterruptible. Yada, yada, yada. But that will be gone. Now, oh man, I'm already, like, I want to talk about the buff, but I also want one more thing about Rayquaza being gone. Are the wind move speed things gone now, too?
Yeah, how will he attack us? I know there is some footage of Groudon on the Chinese version of
That's
the
right.
game doing
Mm-hmm.
his little like attacks, so
Yeah.
I guess we need to study up on those guys.
Precipice blading. Um,
Oh, mama.
but like, d- but like after you defeat him, you know how after you defeat Rayquaza, there's like wind tunnels on the
Oh, that
map.
too.
Like,
Yes.
are those gone? Are they the opposite? Do they slow you down? Who knows? That would actually be crazy, but who knows? We'll see. Okay, let's get into the actual buff. How do you feel about this buff dramatically changing from what we have currently? What we've had currently for what? Checks watch 3 years.
Yeah, it is a bit crazy. I mean, if it really is just the speed and not a shield a la Zapdos, like,
Well,
man,
it won't be as fast as Zapdos though, I think, because it does still say goal scoring speed. So
oh,
that
it's not an
not
insta dunk.
instantaneous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, okay. So did they actually do it? They nerfed both Rayquaza and Zapdos and given us our Lord and Savior Groudon? I did
The
not
boy.
know. I did not know he was going to be the one to save this game. But I have never really thought about like stealing the shield away, I guess, which seems like a pretty simple concept, but really, if you're able to steal away two shields, I mean,
Huh?
even one, but like two is, I feel like, probably doable in an end fight scenario
Totally.
and makes it a much crazier 2 minutes than
Mm-hmm.
we currently have, which feels crazy to say.
Yeah. In my mind, it all depends on shield. Because that is the strongest
Yeah.
part of Rayquaza in my mind by far. It allows you to take down the boss objective and in some cases, not all the time, but in some cases, ignore the enemy team, knock it out, your team gets a big shield, and then can turn and still win a fight, even if they've been damaging you previously. If there is no shield granted, or even just a smaller one, and then more in the attack power and goal scoring speed, this does change things a lot. Um, Stealing a Ray is going to be insane. I feel like
Oh.
that is crazy. Or stealing a Groudon. Oh no, how do we shorten it? Zap, Ray, Grow.
The
I the
Dawn. But
Dawn.
that's kind of what Duraludon is.
I'm sorry, Dura, but you're gone.
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah,
it's a
that might
Dawn
be.
steal. It's a Dawn steal for sure.
It just has to be that. What else
Mhm.
could he be?
Right.
Growl?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the community decides on. But yeah, either way, crazy buff change. I think this changes so much about how final fights will go down, and we don't even know what the pit looks like, what the mechanical like
Oh my god,
grass and map
yeah.
changes are, because that's the final piece of this. Let's get into this last paragraph because I actually think, well, I think Groudon will be the biggest change to how games play out. This final paragraph I find the most cryptic and interesting. So
Yeah, it has mysteries and I want to know
yes,
them.
riddles, mysteries, and what some would say to this podcast and the Dunkheads, a challenge. So
A
we
challenge. Yeah, we will figure it out right now, really, really
yeah.
quickly.
We will also be adjusting when and where wild Pokemon appear. Okay, we got a preview of that. We've seen the Regis on the top side, as well as the placement of tall grass. Okay, so a slight change. These changes will make the top and bottom path rolls clearer, while allowing all battle styles a chance to shine. What? Like, what does
What does
that
that mean?
mean?
What
What
does it
does that
mean?
mean? Um, is it like one side has more cover, like more grass, so it allows like melee Pokemon to work a little easier? You know what I mean? Like you can like show
Yeah.
up like to the other side of the map with a little bit less vision, and you get poked a little bit less, maybe something like that. And I don't know.
Do
Okay,
you think you go?
oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna add, and then the last part, it just throws a giant wrench. We hope this makes battling easier, while also improving strategy. Now, I have thoughts on that final line, but let's first talk to me about what you think about these changes will make the top and bottom path rolls clearer.
My only other thought to add to your speculations of like grass placement is Like, are we gonna see like farm changes, like more
Probably.
are the Natus coming back?
Please
Is
let us
the
know.
but something along that
Totally.
energy, because
Oh, you know what would
they
be
say
crazy?
when
Okay,
and
hold on.
where.
Y'all, we have a very special guest that's going to be joining the episode here in just a sec. All right, everybody, we're back. We're back. Spraggles, the Content Cowboys here. I feel like he needs no introduction. But Jake, what's going on? First, we already talked about the Mega Evolution, but how you feeling about more Mega licenses getting added to Unite?
My overall thought with any of this is just I fully am in shock that they're doing it. I'm
Uh-huh.
like kind of blown away. I feel like this game after year 3 was fully on its last legs.
Yeah.
They didn't update it much at all, and they focused entirely on China. And I think there was a real question. There was a real question in my mind. There has been for a long time as to whether or not they would actually come back and put more energy into this game, because it would be reinvesting into something that they kind of let languish for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Zoinks, I'm always asking every time we're at an event, like, when are we getting the updates? Are we going to get China? Is this going to happen? Like,
Yeah.
are you going to support this game? What will happen?
We're
And
nosy at Unite events. We get up to
yeah,
As you
yeah.
should be, as you
Right.
should be.
well, I also like, I want to see this game succeed.
Yeah.
So it's so frustrating sitting around being like, boy, that auto chest looks really cool, huh? Oh, they have a
Literally,
fancy map, don't they? So
Yeah.
to specifically talk about megas,
Yeah.
I don't think, look, anything that is cool in the world of Pokemon, cool and unique and fun, I love that they could throw it into the game. I also love that they are, for the first time ever, actually coordinating with the release of a popular
Yes.
title
We
coming
were
out.
talking
Like,
about that too.
wild.
isn't that insane? How they didn't do this for Gen 9, I'll never understand,
Yeah.
considering they also have Meowscarada in the game now. But as far as like what they're gonna do with Megas and how it'll be, they don't need to break anything. Nothing needs to be, ridiculous and
Uh-huh.
overpowered. They like to do that sometimes. But
Right.
I do think like anything cool in the world of Pokemon is just good news for the game.
Totally.
Period.
Okay, our question mostly surrounding megas are, I'm curious what you think. Are they going to be their own unique licenses? Like, is Gengar and Mega Gengar going to be its own separate license? Or will they be reworks to existing Pokemon in some way?
That's a great question. And I
Thank
think
you
they
so
could
much.
go either direction. If they have an entire kit that they felt was so unique that they wanted to play around a Mega, I could see them doing something. I also could see them dropping a Mega as an item slot, and it's like almost
Whoa.
a third
Sick.
way to play a Pokemon. So you've got Charizard, you've got the setup that you could normally run, but if you want to drop that, third item, you don't want to stack your attack weight, you want to bring a Mega Stone, you could play this sort of third moveset version of Char.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't even think about that.
That's such a good idea.
Very good idea, Spraggles. Oh, man. Hopefully Zasha never gets a Mega Evolution. Only one item headed into game. That's
That
tough.
would be all he needs. He's
Yeah,
fine.
that's true. He'll be okay. He'll bounce back.
What do you guys think? I joined late. What were your thoughts on the Megas? Like, just, I know that everybody heard it, so you can just give me the
No,
cliff notes.
I am pretty strong believer in the camp that it will be their own licenses, because they can get people excited about a Pokemon again, and then, well, sell more licenses and likely more Hollowware is what I would think. Like, but we'll see. Also,
yeah.
I think I'm using Gengar as an example a lot, but I think it honestly will probably get attributed to Charizard X and Y. I think you load into the game as Charizard if you were playing Mega Charizard X. I think you load into the game as Charizard, and then at level 5, you unlock the ability to Mega Evolve, a la Mewtwo.
Oh, well, the one part of that you said that I think is 100% was the Hollowware. So yeah, I think you're right about that.
We'll see.
Definitely.
Okay, let's get back into Groudon where we were before a second ago. Insane changes. We're talking about a bunch of them, the map changes and stuff. We're talking about the final paragraph a little bit. We'll get into that in a sec. But Jake, your thoughts on Groudon, a brand new buff, and notably, I was kind of baffled. No mention of a shield at all in this buff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a buff.
Maybe
that
in case it's they is a shield. They just didn't say it in this paragraph,
oh
which
sure, yeah,
could
that's actually
happen.
yeah, it could be a million things. It could be its own unique thing that is sort of a
Mhm.
buff and sort of a shield. They're like, yeah, many possibilities, right? But
Mhm.
one thing I loved, and I'm sure everyone loves this the second they saw it, I think it's just such a great idea, is once you are KO'd, if you have this effect, as it says, it transfers to the Pokemon
Mhm.
who KO'd you. Like, what a like it now we have they got Groudon, but like you just KO'd 3 of them with your team and you swung the other way. Like what a massive moment that would be.
And if there's no shield, that's way more possible. Like I feel like with
Mhm.
Rayquaza, that would be such a challenging thing because they knock out the Ray, and also they got half their health back on every single roster or every single Pokemon on their roster. It's a lot tougher. I do like the energy of this. Let's say your team lost Groudon, they got the buff, but they're able to. I don't know. Things happen. We're a minute later in the game. Your team's rallied together, and you're on one final push, and you're like, those buffs are standing on their goal zone. Just take them. Go and knock out every Pokemon, and then we can score even better. I think it's gonna set up some fun stuff. But where we were
Yeah.
truly baffled here, Jake, is this paragraph right here. Um, we will also be adjusting when and where wild Pokemon appear, as well as the place where the tall grass. So we saw a little bit of that in the Charizard trailer, or whatever that came out.
Yes.
These changes will make the top and bottom path rolls clearer while allowing all battle styles a chance to shine. We hope this makes battling easier. We're also improving strategy. What on earth do you think that means?
The only thing like the only thing this kind of reads like to me is them saying like we want a more clearly defined top role.
Sure,
Like
but how?
yeah, I know that I thought the same thing.
How?
Like what exactly do they want out of this? Someone soloing top more often, like almost going back to a 1-1-3 situation or a like a 1-1-2 with a roam almost, like the
Pretty cool.
speedster roams the map. I'm not exactly sure what they mean by it, but clearly the first thing I thought is they want it to feel like someone's playing solo top. That just
Yeah.
like going back to League, that's where my brain went, but I also have no idea what exactly they mean by this.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. I think one theory I was thinking, like, for maybe they want all rounders or melee Pokemon to be in the top side more often, you add more tall grass, more cover, so it allows melee Pokemon to take less poke damage or whatever it is when moving back and forth across the map. That could
Sure.
be something. I think if they want to add more Pokemon roaming, there's probably more experience and objectives in the middle. In our normal podcast earlier this week, we talked about with the Reggie showing up top. Maybe we see Regieleki pivot to the middle like it is in China currently,
Yeah.
where it roams. So now there's like more frequent, important spots in the middle of the map. Um,
I think that's,
yeah.
I mean, I think that's a great way to like, if you take a look at what they're doing in China, which
Mhm.
there's this interesting rumor going around that China likes our ranked version better. I don't know if this is true or this is just something people like to say, but that
Yeah.
is something that is talked about that, like, I guess China is not in love with their ranked version. They actually like our version more. And if they do
Interesting.
start to add those chaotic, maybe chaotic's not the right word, but more objectives throughout the map that sets up more things for your Pokemon to do, it would make it more like you have a Pokemon that's top, you have a Pokemon that's jungle, you almost have a Pokemon that is now roaming mid and then
Mhm.
to bot. So maybe that would make it more defined.
Yeah, we'll see. How about you, Bridget? Any more thoughts on this? How it's gonna make things more defined?
Yeah, I truly have no idea
Yeah.
what they're plotting with this one, but I love the vision of even just switching up the usual like hiding spots. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm very interested to see if how much they do with the grass of it all.
Yeah, that I'm super curious on that too. That'll be interesting. Uh, do any of us
Something
think
that
we get new
I think
wild Pokemon?
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just wondering. I was wondering about if we get any more wild Pokemon. I was thinking more about how we can make a solo lane happen. China does have the Pidgeot, right? Where if you
Yep.
knock it out, it then is a
Yeah.
sentry turret essentially on your goal zone, which could be a thing we get too. Who knows? That's crazy. Sorry, Sprinkles. What were you saying though?
Oh, no, I mean, you brought up a great point because that's also in the China version. One
Mhm.
thing that I think after seeing this, I think it's essentially saying, and it may be true that China would go this direction also. I feel like this is essentially saying 500 point has absolutely no shot of being our ranked mode or
Mm.
competitive mode
Interesting.
unless they move like even further, like because it feels like they're making adjustments to Thea
Yeah.
in this way. Maybe they end up using it for 500 point. They certainly could, but it kind of feels like if we're doubling down and making more adjustments to Thea here, this is for sure the direction of ranked and competitive
Yeah.
for I think the future of our game.
I agree. At minimum, the next year, I think.
Yeah.
Like at
Yeah.
minimum. We're playing this same game mode with these map changes next year. Okay, before we move on to the next section, Spraggles, this was a very important discussion that Bridget and I had. You know how Rayquaza like gets to the map by like flying through the sky?
Yeah.
How do we think Groudon gets there?
He gets brought in by Rayquaza, obviously.
Oh my gosh, airdrop!
Stop! That would be really cute.
Drop
If
him
they
on
added
in.
him
Can you
in.
imagine, like, if we get that camera pan that shows the Rayquaza flying in the background, it's just like a Groudon T-posing underneath him. He's just getting flown around. All right,
Aw,
now I
they're
want that to happen so
friends.
bad.
I think the thing a lot of people would love, like it breaks out of the ground, right? In a
Right.
cool way.
Mhm. Yeah, I was saying there was a lot of like there's like a stairway. He just like was slowly walking up the stairs, but probably not likely.
Yeah, I want that actually.
You
Now I
see
want
him.
Yeah, there's a few other like map changes. Obviously, I wish there was a well, we don't know technically. I wish there was a more of a graphical change with Groudon getting added, just because in
Yeah.
that little Charizard trailer we saw, it was so very Thea. You know what I mean? Like it was still the same grass palette, same stones and everything. I would love
You
even a bigger
didn't
change,
notice
but we'll
that
see.
some of the grass was a little kind of like dark. It was almost
It
like
was like
ooh,
dead grass, right? Like kind
that
of
grass
yellowish.
isn't doing as
Yeah.
Ooh.
good as the other grass. You didn't notice that? Oh
Mm.
man, it's so different. It's
I'm
different grass.
not a YouTuber. Yeah, and
Mhm.
stuff. That's a good point though. I
I could do 8 minutes and 3 seconds on that grass.
Yeah,
I
you're
believe
a
it.
real Pokemon YouTuber now if you're talking about the
Yeah.
grass. Okay. The other thing we were talking about with Groudon, when you knock out Ray, you get like the little wind tunnels throughout the map to speed up. Do we think Groudon does something too?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Because I can't
Yes,
think of
and I
anything that
wonder-
Groudon could do that would be beneficial. Everything would be like slow down or damage. It's like in my
Yeah.
mind, like maybe a
What if that i-
sandstorm.
Yeah, what if that is what it is though? I mean, what if instead of like Ray was there are things that make you faster? What if Groudon is there are these areas that kind of hinder Pokemon? I don't
Man,
know.
make it even harder to score. They're like, okay, we get it. The comeback is too much. And then they they had like lava to the ground. That'd be cool. Ooh, we'll see. I can't wait. I want to know. This has to be like right after Worlds, right? Maybe
Yeah.
is that too optimistic?
Well,
Is it
no, I
later
don't think
on?
so because if look, if I'm Pokemon Unite, well, hey, if I'm Pokemon Unite, we're doing a few things different around here. But if I'm Pokemon Unite and I have a competitive season coming up, logically starting once again at LAIC like they did the previous year, have they announced when it starts?
They've announced LAIC.
Oh, they
Yeah,
have. Okay.
yeah.
So I can never remember what is announced, but if
Mhm.
LAIC is where it starts, I think you need this mode for
Yeah.
LAIC.
ASAPity. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, we have more thoughts on Groudon. We can come back to it. Final thing, improved pacing for newly added Pokemon. One of Pokemon Unite's highlights is the varied battles you can enjoy due to the wide selection of playable Pokemon. Some would say one of the only highlights. Going forward, new Pokemon will be joining the fray more often, so that players can enjoy more strategies and playstyles. To start off from September to December, so right after Worlds, we plan to release 2 new Unite licenses per month, including Unite licenses for Mega Evolving Pokemon. Interesting that there's a clarifier there, or they could just be like re-advertising it, but we'll see. We're also working hard to add even more Pokemon in 2026 and beyond. Makes sense, but they're committing to a hard push from September to December for 2 every month. That's really cool. And
Yes.
saying Megas are going to be in that time period. So
Mhm.
we already got one coming. Reminder to this El Chico Weavy tweet that happened very recently. This could be Mega Lucario could be the first one that would be of no surprise to me. Hope to continue
Yeah.
gathering feedback from all trainers so we may strive to unite battles more strategic and enjoyable. We hope you continue to enjoy Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite team. Bridget, how you feeling about 2 Unite licenses a month?
So happy. I feel
Yes.
like I saw, many people do this like comparison pictures, like this is how many Pokemon we had released at this time last year, and this is how many we have this year, and it's like half of what we got last year. And
Right.
so it's like, okay, that was depressing to look at. I didn't like that. So this is dare I say, almost unprecedented that we get this guarantee of this many mons in just like what, a 4-month period. Like,
Yeah.
have we ever gotten
8 Pokemon in 4
like
months.
this quantity? Like maybe in like early days, but I don't even know if we got this much.
Not this many. It was like every 3
Then.
weeks
Yeah,
for a
the,
bit there,
the
but
only
not.
thing that is comparable to this is that year one push after Worlds, where I think
Mhm.
it was almost in, I believe it was like 1.5 months. We had 3 Pokemon. It was like the Scyther, Dodrio,
Sableye?
and yeah, maybe it was Sableye, something like that. It happened over the course of like less than 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like that pacing again, which is kind of unbelievable. I mean, if you look at year 3 compared to year 4, you would think that that like they totally decided to completely reinvest in the game, because we got, I don't know how many Pokemon year 3, but it was something like 10.
Yeah, it was not great.
And like this between September and December we'll have 10. So
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty
Crazy.
nuts.
Yeah. That's insane. I think this saying it's going to include Unite licenses for Mega Evolving Pokemon leads me to believe it might be more of a rework scenario or something like that, but for some existing Pokemon to now be able to Mega Evolve, because I don't know, in my mind, if they were doing reworks, it would just be an easier development cycle, but there's actually no ground on that. Like, it could be anything. But we'll see. I think Mega Lucario, very likely. Jake, I don't know if you agree with us on this. We were saying Charizard is a later one. For a next big event will be a Mega Charizard license.
I think you could be right, but I also think it feels like a shoe-in. So
Okay.
like for me, like immediately my brain thinks Char and Lucario, and
Right.
then if they're smart, one of the new megas from what's it called? Legends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We were saying we have none of the 3 starters in the game yet. You know how cool it would be to get, like, if the starters get Mega Evolutions, which we all kind of think they will, but if one of these licenses is Meganium for Alligator or Emboar and they Mega, that would be kind of sick.
That would be awesome. I agree. Yeah, that would be so cool. I think you're probably right, Zoinks, when you're talking about some of the 2 licenses maybe is more of a rework or more of like an add-on mega sort of thing, where it's like it's still Lucario, but we're doing
Right.
this thing. I think they could get away with that, and I don't think anyone would be too upset as that being one of their 2 Pokemon a month. I
Mhm.
do think them having the dates kind of set in stone here, it's almost like they're laying out their entire plan, and they're saying this is our push for Unite.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see if this works. This is what we're going to do. We're going to really push this game. Basically, not exactly for 6 months, but essentially, we're going to push this game from our anniversary right now until the end of the year. And we want to see if we can get Unite really cooking again. I would love it if they did even more than this, but this really does feel like they're kind of spelling it out, like this is a big push for Unite. And if it works well, Unite could kind of flourish once again. And if it doesn't, this could be like, this is our last push for global Unite.
It could be. Yeah.
Like, not to be negative inside of all this positive news,
Right.
but I do think they're almost like planting a flag of this could be the last big push for Unite if this doesn't like hook people.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good read of the tea leaves. Like, that is it's interesting. This whole post is a roadmap without dates, but except for the commitment to the Unite license additions, which is interesting. I really do feel like the new map, we're gonna be looking at it at Worlds at bare minimum, I think. Which is awesome. People have been asking that for years and years. That might be one of my favorite memories of an event, is when we got to show off the Thea Sky Ruins trailer at Worlds. That was insane.
So cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna be pretty crazy. But I do agree. I think this is a big push. People have been asking for a while about kind of like a Switch 2 push for Unite. Like it is a big platform for it, and there is not a lot of competition in that genre on that platform. So yeah, joining the holiday push for all things Pokemon, you know, we're also mega evolving. If CA can do it, we can too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty stoked. Quick end of thoughts. What's our favorite change each? Spraggles, how about you?
Boy, I mean, it's hard to say, because I really do think, like, genuinely, I didn't know if we would ever see a letter like this.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know what the next thing would be. But like, it kind of felt like there was a point where they could go either way with this game. I guess, you know, one thing that I think is really cool, I have no idea if this is, I don't know why they even decided to do it now, finally. I think it's cool that they're actually tying it in with a game that's coming out and making it sort of relevant. So I'll give it to that they're trying to tie it in with Legends.
Cool. Hey, you had that pocket background there for a bit. Not much
right,
more
I
than
did.
that, but you did it.
Yeah, that was cool. That was very cool.
This is a bit cooler.
That moved the needle. That's one of those ones where people went, "Hold on a second, I'm logging in."
That's how we got up to 200 million downloads.
Yeah, it was 100 million at one point.
Yeah, we doubled up. It is interesting how they say it, because they do include the mainland China version in these numbers, it seemingly, which is interesting. But okay, Bridget, how about you? Favorite change upcoming?
I think just Groudon. I feel like
the buff is so crazy.
Yeah, obviously the buff, but honestly, just even like, I just feel like the last objective is such a figurehead of the game. Like, having like Ray not going to be there is going to be kind of crazy, but in a really exciting way. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. I love
You're going to be like Zapdos. It's crazy.
It is. This is what I'm most interested in. This paragraph is so wild. One of, not the biggest complaints by the Unite community, but the complaint I hear from new players all of the time is the fact that they, like, people go to the wrong lane, or, you know, like, you don't have a good team comp, like, you don't have a defender, you don't have a support, like, that kind of thing. Where, like, people who are more experienced, you kind of learn ways to deal with it. You figure it out. I mean, it's not great, but you you can deal with it. I think they might be trying to make a push to make things very, like, hey, the game giving you more prompts, maybe, like Honor Kings and stuff does this well. I don't think roll queue, but maybe everything but that kind of thing, to try to push, like, if you're picking attacker, you go here, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We'll see. I think it'll help newer people with the game for sure, if that's the case. Yeah, if these adjustments actually do the thing. I mean, I don't think they intended for 1-1-3 to be the first metagame this game ever had, but it happened. So
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they would be looking for with an adjustment like that, right? I don't know. We already have, where the game's like, it'd be good to be a defender here, and they're like, I kind of like Shell Bell Cinderace, and they're like, it would be nice for your team if you weren't another attacker, and they're like, I do like what I have Shell Bell on Cinderace, and they're like, all right, well, you're in master rank, so I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough, but you are one of the 200 million people who downloaded this game, so we got to treat them well while they're here.
You're in the, just so you know, you're in the bottom 50% of that 200 million.
That is unfortunately the case. Oh man. Okay. Now I'm so captivated. I actually think the Megas might be what take the cake for me. I'm just so interested in what those licenses end up being. Is Scizor finally going to be playable? Do they give him his Mega? We'll see. I don't know.
I wouldn't hold my breath for that one, but at this point, I couldn't guess.
Yeah, we'll see. I really do hope. Honestly, my biggest hope is that it's anything tying into the new game. Could any of the Unite roster be a hint of a Pokemon that will be able to Mega in the new game? We'll see. Mega Delphox? Mega Greninja? Maybe. We'll see. But either way, unless either of you two have anything else to mention before we get out of here, I think that'll wrap it up for the emergency episode.
I guess I will say,
Yeah.
what's surprising about all of this news? First off,
that it
is a
happened.
that it happened at all is actually the most surprising.
Uh-huh.
It's so weird. They have this like little, it's a letter from the producer and some text. This could be the most exciting
Trailer.
thing that they could possibly show. And instead they're like, what if we have the lady that nobody knows from this game stand near a thing that says there's a letter like that?
Wow,
so
way to say
weird
you
me
didn't
that-
play the tutorials, Braggles. That's great.
I couldn't tell you her name. I really couldn't.
I can't remember her name.
Not me.
But it's just so weird that this is actually the most hype thing. And they're like, hey, we just got this little letter for you. This could be the sickest trailer that is being shared around everywhere. And there it is. And instead, this is the thing right here. Zoinks didn't even retweet it.
I quote tweeted it twice. Oh, I tried my best. Also, we were laughing before that Unite comments, they never change on Twitter. It's always just people tweeting the Pokemon they want. Danko hoping for Mega Sableye. I got bad news. I don't think that one's gonna be debuting the Mega Evolution. Pokemon.
God, that'd be so cool if it was, though.
It would be though. This giant gem he's running around with. Awesome. Yeah, that is wild. However, do you think at Next Week Presents, Unite gets more than just the next couple of Pokemon coming because of this?
Now I do, yes.
Yeah? Let's go.
Now I actually think this could be a cool presents for Unite. And
It could be.
the only reason that they have this very good looking letter, the only reason that they have this is because they actually have something kind of cool to show, even if it's just the first Mega and we see Charizard swoop in and it's Mega Char and it's like coming to Unite. That I get.
That'd be cool. Here's another one that pulled another El Chico EV tweet talking about a rumor that someone was talking about. Who knows? Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But someone saying that potentially Empoleon and Palmot as potential Pokemon during our trailer. So who knows? That one we didn't talk about too much because, like, who knows at this point. But
I do think it would be fair to say those are extremely likely. I think
Eventually,
Empoleon's extremely likely because it's been around China marketing forever. We've talked about this a billion times. And Palmot, they did have kind of the person who went to their offices and was like, an electric Pokemon's coming, tee-hee.
Shut up, Birdie.
Yeah, so
Yeah, maybe.
I think this is very, very possible. This is one of those like leaks where you go, yes, take it with a grain of salt, but I don't know. You could do like maybe even a full handful of salt.
Yeah, that's true. I was way more on the Palmot train before Ho-Oh came out. And then they made a Pokemon with a resurrection mechanic. I was like, that's Palmot's whole thing. Like, he's like a defibrillator hands or whatever. And I was like, well, that would make sense. You give him a res, but now I don't know. So
yeah, good point.
We'll see. I'm not saying it can't happen. They can make a new motif for him, but if I was like thinking of flavor design, it feels like it's right there. Who knows? How about you, Bridget? Any final thoughts on all of the, I guess, this leak and then also the anniversary news?
Yeah, not too, I guess, surprised by the leak, but also I feel like we just got, I mean, I guess we like Latios and Latios are like imminent, so I guess we're kind of due for like the next set of guys, but yeah, it just feels crazy that it's happening. I want to know like when, but I am hopeful that at the presents we'll get like a cool trailer of something from this. I'm hoping it's like Groudon in the middle, we see the map. I'm hoping it's everything.
Yeah, I think at bare minimum we get a Worlds trailer. And because of how poorly this tweet was sold, I think no one in the crowd will know it's coming. So the trailer will still hit at the World Championships. I think that could be likely. But yeah, cool. I think that's where we'll wrap things up. Sprinkles, you got anything going on? You want to sell out, shout out before we close up here?
No, I just gotta say, I feel like you're looking pretty cool tonight. I don't know what that's about, but you're looking
Oh,
cooler
thank
than
you.
normal. So congratulations for
So
that.
much. My hair, very bad. Had a hat in arm's
No,
reach. Thank you.
I think I think you've got a kind of a cool vibe going on. I honestly, I feel like you're looking pretty damn cool, Zoinks.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so much. This is guys, this is the first time Spraggles ever complimented. This is huge.
This is a
Bridget,
big
anything to shout
day.
out?
No. There's a patch tonight. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk all about the patch in the next week's episode. We didn't even get into that, but a pretty huge patch was pretty exciting. So awesome. Yeah. I'll fill in for Dupes next year. Follow at Big Bridget on Twitter. And other than that, we'll see this episode on YouTube. If you're watching and you're in the comment section, let us know what the craziest change is going to be. And is Groudon going to walk upstairs to get the Thea Sky Ruins? We'll see you next time, Dunkheads. Bye-bye.
Bye.